How you doing, everybody? We are here with Altaworx. I am Forrest. I'm the president of Altaworx, and I've got Jamie, who is our VP of Channel Development. Jamie's been here for a number of years, and what we're going to be talking about today is how do you convert your business from a commissions-based model to a monthly recurring model. So before we get to that point, let me just ask you how you got started at Altaworx.
So I was working for a company in Birmingham, and I was doing sales and order management for our best salesperson. And a lot of that was through our Bell South Alliance channel partnership. So that's really where I got my start in telecom as well.
Okay.
And back in 2003, Ricky started his own company and asked me to come and help him with his back office.
Very
so
cool.
Here we are.
So what were the revenue sources at that time?
Definitely dependent on the carrier relationships that we had. Bell South Alliance Channel was one of the biggest ones that we had, upfront commissions. We had some smaller ones with residual commissions, like AirSpring, and then some of the master agents.
Okay. So with that type of model where you're getting commissions from different carriers, what are some of the challenges specifically that you had with relying on commissions as your only source of revenue?
Really, we were reliant on them for everything, making sure that they paid us on time and paid us correctly. Some of the issues that we had with that were clawbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we've talked about that before, but that was always something to take into consideration.
So it sounds like you guys weren't guaranteed the commissions because then there were some issues that money would be taken back from the carrier. Is that correct?
Yes. So you would think that you would be guaranteed the commissions
Right.
once you sold something, but those carriers have internal teams that are competing for that same business.
Mm-hmm.
So many times there would be an upgrade that needed to happen, and they would recontract maybe in a bundle, and that would override what we had done
So
as a solution provider.
lose the money that you worked hard for.
That's right.
Okay. So with the issues you had with callbacks from carriers, how did that affect your cash flow?
It was not dependable, became unmanageable. And we found carriers go bankrupt. And I didn't used to think that way.
Right.
I didn't think that would ever happen, but it does.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the first things they stop paying is commission. So
it is. First to go.
Not a guaranteed payment. So, did you have any limitations on the customer types that you could sell to when you were commissions based?
We did. It was particularly in the GEM space, which is the government, education, and medical.
Okay.
Those were restricted or protected accounts.
So they were untouchable.
Yes.
Gotcha. So as an agent, did you have visibility and communication with the customers regularly to understand their growth and business challenges? So once you've sold them as a commission, how did that relationship continue after that?
There was somewhat of a disconnect there because as an agent, we're responsible for the sale, but we don't get that support communication, or if they have billing questions, they don't call us to find out how to, understand their bill. They're calling the main carrier, the tier 1 carriers, to do that. So there was a disconnect there for sure.
Unless it was me, because I was one of your customers for years while you guys were making commissions before I started working here, and I know that I would call you every time there was a billing dispute, and you would help me with that.
Right, and that's what we're here for.
Right.
But at the same time, the invoice that's coming for them that they're asking questions about doesn't have my name on it.
Right, it's from the carrier.
Right.
I was not a typical customer, is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
And I annoyed you, but that's okay. We're good. I'm working here now. So whose idea was it to change to a reseller model?
Absolutely our visionary, Ricky Ritchie.
Okay. And how was it accepted at the company after he decided to make this change and told you guys about it?
So he's going to see this. So I'm going to say not well.
Okay.
It was definitely tricky. Some people were not on board initially. I even took a couple college classes.
Thought about looking for another job?
Just because I was concerned.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a big change.
It is.
So what were the biggest challenges in changing to a reseller model from a commissions model? I mean, you guys have made the decision, but what were the challenges that you guys faced when you did that?
Taking on that billing for our clients, building out our support teams, making sure that we had the right partners and vendors that could support our business model.
Yeah.
I think those were the main things.
What about taxation?
Oh,
Yeah, it's just a minor thing.
yeah,
Was that an issue?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about what were the changes that required the largest investment from you? So you guys had to make some changes in the business. It's much different where you're billing the customer versus just collecting a commission. So what were the big things that you guys had to invest in when you made this change?
So we built out our voice platform.
Mm-hmm.
Huge investment. But you just said taxation and compliance and being licensed in all the right cities, states, counties, and whatever else is involved in that was a big expense for us. And then I think building out that support team again was a big expense, and we really didn't have the experience in that area.
I can see that. So what other issues did you face once you launched the reseller program?
Choosing the right partners,
mm-hmm.
Making sure that they could support us. And really, I think we had a learning curve in the support area, knowing what equipment we needed, knowing how to provision it, how to get it out to the customers in the right way, so that they could do self-installs and things like that. That was really important for us.
I think I've heard stories about equipment, choosing one type of equipment, but then that equipment really didn't work well in the field or for the application, so you had to change equipment.
Yes.
But narrowing down the scope of what that equipment is it sounds like it was a challenge.
It was.
So how did you decide what packages to build and sell once you were, in charge of your own products? How did you guys go through that process?
We struggled a good bit with that. We spent a lot of time talking to our clients, talking to our customers, understanding what their needs were, where they had issues, maybe with the tier 1 carriers, where we could close that gap for them. But we were able to hone in on things that would make it easier for them to do business with us, and just focused on that.
So now that you've become a reseller, what are the benefits you've realized with respect to customers?
Definitely owning the customer relationship is the key.
Yeah, so one of the things that was interesting about when I took this job here is that one of the concerns somebody mentioned to me was that, hey, what happens if AT&T or Verizon change their program, and what do you do then? And what I explained after I understood it better is that there's a big difference between getting commissions from a carrier versus being a reseller for a carrier. Because when you become a reseller, you're actually a customer to the carrier. So the carrier is not going to fire a customer unless you're a bad customer, you're not paying bills.
Right.
But they can't necessarily change your compensation structure because you're not based off commission. You make your own decisions on what you sell things for. So I think it's like you said, owning the customer relationship is a huge deal when you become a reseller. So how about benefits from a revenue standpoint? What are some of the benefits you guys have realized once you made the switch and became a reseller?
Recurring revenue, number one. I think from an upfront commission standpoint, not having to start over every month, huge. Stable cash flow, making higher margins on all of our products, and being able to set our own pricing structure, set our own margins, and being able to adjust those.
Very cool. So what's been the largest benefit to the reseller model? Largest benefit?
I think building lines of credit has been huge for us, being able to invest in our business and the employees here.
Yeah, it's a different model. You need more employees from a commission, because when you guys were a commission model, it was just you and Ricky for a long time.
It was.
And then you've added employees, but as you come to the full circle to reseller, the business has to grow, so you get to build those credit lines and everything. So what was your equity value when you had a commission-based model?
I love this. So 3/4 of the commission, annual commission.
Yeah. So that's typically what businesses are offered in the marketplace if you're a commission-based business. So what about now that it's a recurring revenue model?
So it's 2 to 5 times the annual sales. So I don't want anybody to miss that.
Yeah.
So we're going from 3/4 of commission to 2 to 5 times the sales revenue.
Right. That's a big difference. It's a big number difference. And we'll share the spreadsheet in this podcast where you guys can calculate that for yourself. Is there an easy way, setting up the question, is there an easy way to build a reseller business today?
There is.
Okay.
That's actually what we do as part of channel development and as part of our company is we help companies become telecom resellers and get into the space where they can grow their recurring revenue. And we have a program called Catapult that we are really excited about, and we can really help people get into the reseller space and not have some of those same issues that we had.
Yeah, I like the solution of Catapult because it is really a Cliff Notes version to become a reseller, and it helps you shortcut through the issues that we experience. Because I've heard, I wasn't here, but I've heard stories that we stubbed our toes a lot and spent a lot of money we probably shouldn't have to get to that point. So, well, cool. Well, thanks, Jamie. I know it was kind of me interviewing you, but it was fun because I wasn't here when all this was going on. So it's kind of a story that I've heard peripherally, but it's good to have it all in one place. And if you want more information about Catapult, send us a message, and we look forward to working with you.